at the end of the day, everything in life is a sale. Whether you believe it or not, everything in life is a sale. You meet your girl, you sold her on why she's messing with you and not somebody else.
I like
right?
that. That's hard.
Everything in life is a sale, right? Everything in life. Somebody sold you this suit, somebody sold you that hat. You either buying or you selling. Okay? You either buying or you selling. And at the end of the day, if you go into one of these interviews and your sales skill on how to sell yourself ain't up to par, you ain't gonna get that job. Fellas, what up?
What's up? What's
Going
up?
on, man?
I'm good, man. How you? How y'all? Y'all great?
Right there.
Hey, right on. Mental check. Where we at?
Hey, big.
Hey,
Good,
B.
good. You know, I'm always floating in the 8. You know, things is moving. I'm in the moving phase right now. You know, I'm getting a lot of things going, trying to make a lot of connections. You know, getting ready for the summer, especially since when it comes, you know, training these young bucks and athletes. You know, summer's usually the biggest time. That's when they mostly get it in. So
Yeah, it's the off season.
I'm just trying to make some chess moves in place to really make it happen.
All right. Right on.
About a good 8.5.
Right on. Jeff?
I'm not gonna copy, so I'm gonna say 7.5.
7.5? All right. What's happening?
Got a promotion in the last, I don't know how many weeks.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
That's real shit.
Positive. Thank y'all.
Yeah, man.
I don't know, man. I'm alright. We don't have much more. I think it's popping outside that.
Mentor still going good?
I haven't done it in 3 weeks now.
Really?
Yeah. Man, they set me up yesterday. I don't even want to speak on it. They set me up yesterday.
All right.
Drove all the way out there and found out I didn't have nobody.
Really?
Man.
Hey, it be like that sometimes, you know? That's the support aspect. Sometimes they don't want the support. Sometimes they don't need the support. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Run is the worst, though.
Yeah.
Especially with gas prices are.
Yeah,
man.
man.
Oh, man. I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm driving somewhere, I'm gonna be doing something when I get
Right.
there.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as drive around. Right?
Nah, it's everything got a purpose. Trail?
I'm about a 10.
10, all right.
The reason why one of the most biggest party is my little brother. He ended up getting married.
Okay, right on.
That's nice.
So I was there to support and celebrate his marriage.
Okay.
I'm glad and proud of my little brother. They're a good guy, married a good woman, you know, so they deserve each other. They're high school sweethearts. So I'm happy and I'm proud of them. So that's why I say I'm a 10.
All right, right on. Trill? I'm not Trill. Fucking wrong?
Trail's
wrong?
7.5.
He said 10, you know what I'm saying? You usually say 100, so, you know.
Yeah, I'm 100. I'm 100. Well, today I'm 110 after y'all gave me that shot.
I feel you. Yeah,
Mine
man.
is partially due to that shot.
All right.
Yeah.
What's going on with the shop?
Oh, everything's smooth, man. It's ups and downs. It's a little slower than normal, but all together it's good.
All right. School going good, too?
Oh yeah, everything same.
All right.
Ups and downs, slow, but we're gonna work it out.
Yeah, man. That's right on. Right on. Good. Good.
What's yourself?
You, man?
Let's talk about you.
I'm 10, man.
That's good.
I'm 10. I'm on 10.
How was Houston, man?
Man,
How was that experience?
Houston was something else. Let me tell you. Houston was something else. I had never been nowhere where it was like, right when I was leaving, it was like, man, this is a great trip.
Nice.
And we had a great trip. Like me and the whole fam went out because it was my cousin's birthday. She turned 65, and she had a stroke some years ago.
Okay.
So you know we ain't seen her in years. But we went out there, kicked it with her. You know what I'm saying, and kicked it with my younger cousins, and man, it was a ball. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't even complain.
That was up, man.
Yeah, I felt like the time that we was there was just like 4 days. That wasn't even enough.
No,
you know? But it was a good time. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? And then just looking back at life, you can't be on anything less than 10 when you look back at where you came from and where you sitting at now. You know what I'm saying?
True story. I like that.
So I think I'm gonna take after Cerrone. With being 100, I'm on 10. What's how y'all think about this? What y'all think about this Will Smith thing, man? Since everybody touching on it, we gonna touch on it for a minute. Just a minute. Just a minute, cause I'm tired of hearing on it. What y'all think about this Will Smith thing?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's right place and time that he did it in. I mean, I feel like you definitely got to protect your family. I'm down for that. Protect your family. From what? From a joke? Now, see, that's the part I'm getting into.
See, that's the aspect. You know what I'm saying? Because, like you said, it's a time and place for everything. And because I didn't see the whole thing live. I saw it after. When he told the joke, Will laughed, right? And then, but you see Jada do the roll her eyes thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, man. I understand that you done kind of been the brunt of the jokes for the last few years when it comes to Jada, but which is unfortunate. But at the same time, man, now you got all these films that's on hold now.
Seen that? I did.
Yeah, like Netflix done paused like 6 movies.
For real?
Yeah, Hancock 2.
Come on, man. What you think is gonna happen?
Exactly.
I think it's temporary though. As far as all this heat he's getting, I mean, it's well deserved for the occasion, but it's temporary. But I also think that you got an issue with a man about it. Don't matter what it is. It's a time and a place for it. You want to address that man behind the scenes. I'm pretty sure y'all running in the same circles.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's chop it up. What we gonna do? You know, but not that type of platform. We work too hard, and he don't represent us as a whole. But we work too hard to get those doors open. And not saying that it wasn't a bad look for all of us as a race, but I just think we worked so hard to get there.
I mean, you talking about a worldwide event, a worldwide event, dog. And you do that.
You slapping a man for doing his job, man. What you think?
He's
supposed to do? He's a comedian.
That's like me going to.
He's a comedian. At the same time, I feel that's a sucker move because you picking and choosing when you want to do this act,
right,
or whatever you want to do. If the situation was flipped, I get it. If you would have screamed out, "Hey, keep my wife's name out your mouth" or whatever, and the dude kept saying jokes, and then you jump on stage and slap him. Okay, I get it. Because I'm not going to question anybody on how they feel about a word, phrase, or whatever. Whether it looks good in my eyes or whatnot, I'm not going to question that. But you jumped on stage and slapped this man for doing his job.
Right. And kudos to Chris Rock for continuing.
That's a bad man to hold together like that. I mean, get the second,
I'm kind of like you. At the same time, will you kind of pick and choose on when you wanted to do this? Because if that was Mike Epps, you wouldn't have did that.
No,
that was
you wouldn't have did
that was Dave Chappelle, Eddie Murphy, 50 Cent, bro. You wouldn't have did that, man. No, you wouldn't have did that.
So with that being the case, like, how do you feel? What is the lengths of defending your significant other?
I guess if you're gonna be on that type of energy, you better be on it all the way 100.
Yeah.
Because she gonna look at you. Your kids might look at you if you gonna pick and choose when you wanna.
Yeah. You got to be on that all the time.
You got to be on that all the way to 100. Then if that's the case, if you gonna take it to the violent spot.
I say this too. Think about this. Everybody know when you go to a comedy show, you don't sit in the front row. Right? These folks in the front row. You know you don't supposed to go to no comedy show. You get picked on you in the front row. So I've been to so many comedy shows, and then if I'm with a girl, she like, just sit in the front. I'm like, nah, we gonna sit back a little bit.
Yeah, he was leading.
We gonna sit back a little bit. You know what I mean? You ain't going viral off me. I'm not fucking with it. But go ahead. No, second thing is, so when I was with my child's mother at the time, we was going to the movies. And this is online, and this guy walked up on me, and we're going to the depths of defending your other half, right?
Yeah.
So we outside the movie. This guy walked up on us, and he said, "Hey," got our attention. He's talking to her. He said, "Hey, do you want a man friend?" Right? So I know, right? So I let her. The way I work is I always let. Obviously, we was with each other, but the way I work is I let her handle herself the first time, right? To let it be known. That's how my thing. He's like, "Well, no, I'm with my boyfriend right here." Turn back around. He said, "Hey, do we want a male friend?" Right? Okay. So now at this point, now she let him know what was going on. So everything out of that is disrespect to me. This ain't about no woman no more. Now we beyond that, right?
Yeah.
So I told her, I said, "No, she don't need no, no, it's online. Need a man friend."
Yeah.
So we turned back around. He said, "Hey, you not looking for a man friend?" Then I get the, wolfing and doing what I do, and because at this time now you disrespecting me. So it ain't about. I'm not saying I'm fighting over a woman in this particular point. I'm fighting over my honor because you disrespecting me now. She let you know what it is. I let her handle herself.
Yeah.
Anything after this disrespect to me.
It's like he looked at you and was like, "Alright, you still want to be
yeah,
okay?
yeah,
You ain't gonna worry about it.
Yeah.
But
You
it
the
was
wrong one."
But it was a joke, and it's online. They
really?
was pranking people. Yeah, I'm like, you doing the wrong people. My daddy said, "Man, if that was me, I would have shot him." We don't play that. We don't play that. You
What you
lose your
think,
life
Sid?
around here playing like that. That was my daddy
I
said.
think if it was serious, if it warranted that, protect mine. But it's not like she got a real serious health condition or nothing. She got hair loss. It's alopecia. That's not profession. Alopecia is just hair loss. That's all it is. Yeah. What woman over 50 doesn't suffer from hair loss? That's a normal joke. It's true.
Some people are super sensitive about it. That's which is why we got the man units now.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
But if you have a man unit and you're sitting in the front row of a comedy show and you get clowned, that's not nothing to fight over. You have to be willing to take that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Take that 5 seconds of hee hee ha 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 and
Or I
keep
should
it
say,
moving.
I'm not going to defend you. That's what I should say. So if my lady is sitting next to me and she's losing hair and the comedian clowns her, I'm not ready to fight over.
No.
That's not nothing to fight over.
Yeah.
If he
Or-
talks about a health condition she has, if she has a prosthetic leg and he clowning her prosthetic leg, we might could go that way.
Yeah.
But over some hair loss, no.
Didn't she just have, and I hate to go back to that, but did he check all this?
That's what everybody said. But he slapped
That's
hard.
that goes back to
That's
what
what
he
I'm
was
saying.
saying is that if you gonna go this route, you gotta be on
be
10
that.
all the time. You can't be on 10 because
Don't be
all right,
on it
this
with
is-
Chris Rock.
You can't
but
be
not
on it with
all.
Chris. Exactly.
Come on,
You know,
man. Where they do that at?
it ain't gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So that makes sense.
Well, to jump in there real quick, they sitting in there in the front seat. I mean the front row, right? So for a comedian show, they brought that upon themselves. But one of my sisters do have alopecia, so she, I was with her like when it got bad, and she used to kind of, it really, cry in the mirror, crying
Yeah,
with
that-
treatments and stuff. Her grew back, but it got bad.
I think for women,
So,
it
yeah.
makes it can be worse because you start off with this, head full of hair and whatnot, and then you see all of it go, kind of just, falling out, and you're not what you. I don't say you're not what you was as far as, but your hair ain't internally. You know what I'm saying? It kind of flux with you. So
Especially depending on age. How old was your sister, you think?
She probably had to be about 30, 34, 35.
Yeah,
So that-
at that younger age,
she's
yeah.
really gonna hit you.
yeah, cause my mom's is that same way, and she'll rock her head natural with no issue. You know what I'm saying? None.
But like I said, he should never went up there and did that on that particular platform right now. You got smoke with somebody, okay, let's handle this behind the scenes. Let's get a one-on-one.
Yeah.
You feel me? Don't go there and go sucker punch somebody. Chris Rock is comedian. You know what type of stuff that he been making the same type of jokes coming at people for years.
That's what every comedian do.
You gotta respect the craft. That's how you get his money. He's not an actor. He's not a rapper. He's not an influencer. He's not none of this. He's a comedian. We know him as a comedian. He's an actor, but when we define and we think of Chris Rock, he's an actor, but we think of a comedian first, an actor second.
And he ain't just. I just don't see him.
And that's what I'm saying, comedian first. You see what I'm saying? That's the look.
I mean,
we get.
When you tell me who, if you told me, hey man, Will Smith slapped somebody, and I ask you who, and you say Chris Rock, I'm not expecting him to do. Yeah, I'm not expecting you to.
Honestly, every time I think of Chris Rock, I think of Pookie.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I think of. I think of Pookie.
The show, the comedian shows.
And if it ain't Pookie, I'm thinking of him and the mailman and Boomerang, bro. Those are the only two Chris Rocks I know, man. You ain't. Jamie Foxx would have did something. Eddie Murphy would have did something.
Everybody.
Mike Epps would. I mean, you know, all these other comedian hosts. At least I felt would have did something, or they would have just kept going in on your wife.
We ain't never seen nothing like that before, though. Like for somebody just to do that
Yeah,
live.
Will.
Not live.
Not live. Come on, Will. Come on, bro. You
Yeah.
work too hard for this shit, bro. Come on. It's gonna pass. It's just a temporary moment.
Yeah.
But you work too hard for
Man,
this, man.
if I'm exposing to my woman, my wife, my kids, whatever, that a petty joke is gonna trigger me that fast,
Yeah.
you better be on that energy all day,
long.
bro.
All day long.
And I'm the biggest Will Smith fan. It's a difference, allegedly, you know, the little situation with August. Allegedly, I feel like that whenever this shit broke, he came out with this interview. And it wasn't just a tell-all interview in the song. He went publicly, tried to take his wife. You feel me? That was it wasn't about trying to out nothing.
Well.
That was a move. You feel me? That was a chess move to give an
Yeah.
ultimatum to try to take his wife. You gonna try to take, you know me, whatever situation they had going on, now it's different. You trying to take my wife now. Now it's on site. You feel me? Based on that particular situation.
Yeah,
it's
but
a little bit complex.
But that's on site to the. He went on site to the wrong person.
Yeah, it was. I agree, 100%. I agree, 100%.
He went on site to the wrong person.
I agree.
I mean, what's the 5 finger shit in the face though?
Well, they say slap. That's what they say. But
But what I'm saying is, he's slapping man. He didn't punch him.
You think Jada triggered all that to make him go do that?
oh,
I
100%.
think so. Yeah, she.
100%.
But let's look at it from different perspective too. Look, he at that time he felt that he need to do what he need to do for his family. So, you know, if I call somebody a bitch, or if I say something and you walk up on me and try to do something for me, do something to me, you cannot help how a person or predict how a person gonna react too.
Man, but that's.
It was overboard, but we got to be
I
like
get
both
that.
sides.
A
But
G.I. Jane joke, bro. I get.
it was a weak. It was even a
I
weak joke.
get
It was
that.
a weak
Yeah,
joke.
it
It was a
yeah.
weak joke. I agree. But you still.
I get what you're saying.
That wasn't written.
I get what you're saying.
That wasn't written.
I get what you're saying. But I expect to trigger off like that if it's coming from a stranger up in the club or something, talking like that to my woman. Not a comedian who's on stage hosting a freaking show.
Yeah.
Nobody here thinks that could have been staged.
It could have.
I don't think so.
It could.
That would have came out. That would
But,
have came out. It would have leaked somewhere.
But with all the backlash that
It would leak.
with all the backlash that he's facing, I don't think so. They said they asked him to leave afterwards.
I heard they didn't. I don't agree with Will did, but at the same time, he did what he felt like he needed to. I do not agree with it now, but he did what he felt like he had to do. So from your perspective, because you think about the last Oscars or something that Chris Rock hosts, it's probably been building up. When she said she was boycotting the Oscar, he said, well, we invite you anyway, Jada. So I look at it from your perspective too. He said a joke, it was a weak joke to me. And I'm a big Chris Rock fan, but you cannot help how a man's gonna, react. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. I don't agree with it.
I feel you.
But I think it was terribly wrong. But this is just a temporary moment. It's going to recover from this in a couple months. It's going to go back to normal. But you can't help how a person's going to react. And that's just my opinion.
So with that being the case, let's get into the real shit.
Yeah, let's get on.
Let's get on into the real shit. So Jeff, tell me, man. Yeah, it's on you, man. Hey, why you think it's so difficult? I ain't even say that. Why you think we carry the world on our shoulders? We as men carry the world on our shoulders.
That's a good one right there. I like that. That's a good question.
I think there's multiple answers. Every man probably answered similar, but it also depends on the background too. I think we come out. Most men feel like they gotta be hard anyway. They feel like society will look at them differently if they come out just being less masculine. Let's use it that way. So they feel like they have to carry it because it shows now a man because I carry everything on my shoulder. I think something like that.
But the boys, I'm talking about kids, boys and girls raised up are raised differently. Boys are treated different than girls. Girls are treated than boys. When they get older, girls have curfews. Boys have curfews too. Young man, I'm talking about like boys, but they a little bit more leniency too. So it all goes in how you raise too. We raised to be tough. Most black men, they raise us to be tough.
You know, I think that at the end of the day, it's because what you learn inside of the house is only 10% of what you learn. You know what I'm saying? You learn most of everything from being outside, the people that you hang around with, you know what I'm saying, your circle. And a lot of times, based off of that circle, you know, it might even be the circle, but what you see on TV, all of that is what raises you. You know what I'm saying? That all has an impact on you. And so with that being the case, we all have this, I think we all have this mindset of, I gotta carry it, because if I don't carry it, then I ain't a man. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, your boy was paying all the bills, right? And this girl was like, oh, you ain't, or your girl, the girl said that he wasn't a man because he wasn't paying all the bills, right?
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, I feel like that is part of being a man. You know what I'm saying? You providing, but at the same time, most of us are athletes or have been athletes at some point in time of our life. What's the one thing that you aim for by doing all the shit that you do for your sport? What's the whole goal? To win. You want to win, right? You want that. You want the accolades that come with it. You want the accolades. You want the championship. You want that showpiece that say, "Hey, man, I bust my ass for this shit. I accomplished this." But you don't get that in life.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't get that in life. And
so, a lot of L's in life.
Huh?
So there's a lot of L's in life.
Oh man, a lot of L's. But you always chasing something that you ain't gonna never get. You could be the greatest dad in the world. You could provide the way that you want for your girl, and guess what? At the end of the day, she might not fuck you the way that you want to be fucked. Right?
Yeah.
That might be an L for you.
Yeah.
But you doing everything you can. You in the gym. You in the gym. You know what I'm saying? Putting in work. How do you separate? How do you separate from the mindset, right, of being able to take that burden off of your shoulders?
In that particular case, I feel you have to outweigh I guess whatever else is provided with you and that partner, whatever other connection.
I mean, it ain't got to be solely about.
She may not be the greatest in bed, but boy, she may know how to cook like a motherfucker.
It ain't even got to be solely about your girl.
Yeah,
you bust your ass at work.
Yeah, I'm not just saying about your girl.
You know,
it could be the same way about your job. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Or maybe how some people is with their kids or something. I don't know, so I don't have kids, but I know some people out there they don't like their kids, but they put up with them because, or let's say not kids, they baby mama, they baby daddies. They put up with it because this is the example they have to put up with in front of little man, little girl, you know what I'm saying? Even though they really hate each other, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's some sacrifices that you just have to take when you're entering this parenting lifestyle. You know what I'm saying?
No, this is what I think when we talk about raising. I think it starts from little on up and growing up. We are molded to be this way. We're pushed to be this way. I'm saying it's a bad thing. We're treated this way. As far as to have the weight on our shoulders, we have to, like I told you, grow up in the trenches like most of us, right? Raised to be a wolf. Still some of that is still in me, right? Can't change it. It's in my DNA now.
Oh, yeah,
but
definitely.
Boys growing up to men, we're raised to be like this. So carrying the weight on our shoulders. But then what the issue is that we get in relationships, we date women, and then Okay, something happens with we overdoing something in the benefit of relationship, and the woman don't give you credit. Oh, that's what you're supposed to be doing. They don't look at it extra. So we got the weight on our shoulders. The earth is on our shoulders. We are taught and built remotely to this as men, and it's a tradition that's been passed down from the 1900s all the way to now. But it's changed different. They did a study in these cities, right? Well, back in the day. I'm still with the old provider shit. I'm saying I'm not against that. I'm just saying like factual studies. Used to be that we, as men, we make more than women. Women used to be in the household, so bam, bam, bam. I'm still a protective type of person. Now we're just looking at a study now. In most cities, women make a hell of a lot more than men. You see what I'm saying? So, and then it also come down to, back to what I said, we was molded and built like this. Our parents treated us like this, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, because I'm glad the way I am. I'm glad that I'm an alpha male. I'm glad that it's advantages and disadvantages to it. Yeah, the world is on my shoulder. I take that, but I'm glad to be who I am. I feel like I might not, I feel like I'm a strong man. You know what I mean? And when I say a strong man, I feel like I'm a provider. I do what I need to do. I make the hard calls and I take it. But I was pushed this way.
Yeah, so that's good. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, everybody got a breaking point.
Yeah, I've been there before.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody got a breaking point. And as a man, it's impossible, or the stigma is that you can't show that. You can't talk to nobody about it, because that ain't what men do.
Because you're perceived, not you're received, I say too. Because you're perceived now as being weak if you open up. That's the whole part about showing your feelings.
Why?
I'm saying
Society, culture.
It's how society has put that on us. So now when we're starting to get to the mental health side that men haven't touched for so long, it's like you got dudes walking up on stage slapping somebody. They don't know how to really tell their feelings and really get heard and feel like they can heal from whatever situations they've been through. They just hold that in. I think that's a lot of why there's so much conflict, and there's not similar.
That's dope.
I
like that shit.
I like that.
That was hard.
And
bro.
I'm gonna say this
That's
too.
hard.
I'm gonna say
That's real
this
hard.
in rebuttal. What if you talk about it? What if, they got the red table talk? Let's use Jada and Will. They got the red table talk. They go in there and they express their feelings. But a lot of times when you express your feelings, don't nothing change.
You look this weak.
No, it ain't even that.
If you come out with it.
If I talk to AB and tell AB about an issue that I got with AB, and nothing changes from that conversation, what's supposed to happen?
I think some women look at you less of a man. You know what I mean? Like they don't respect you as much. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah, because I've dated a woman and she told me her last boyfriend, he was sensitive, he cried and do that. You know what I mean? Things like that. So she viewed him different. But I'm from a city, Memphis, where if you show your feelings most of the time, you get viewed as a weak man. Like it's what I'm saying. So it's a cultural thing though. But we have mental health issues that need to be addressed.
See, and I disagree on that.
I'm saying from my perspective.
From my perspective, I done seen dudes express themselves to the point they done cry. I'll do it. I have no problem doing it in front of anybody.
Same here.
Because it's genuine. Mm-hmm. And the people I'm doing it in front of or whatever, they know I ain't that. So if they see me expressing myself to the point I'm emotionally crying, they're gonna be like, oh, he really getting.
But what kind of expression of feelings do you mean? Because anger and stuff, that's perceived as manly.
Yeah.
What kind of feelings are you talking about? Like if you go in there screaming like everybody in here at my job is this, that, and the other, nobody looks at you as weak. But now if you come in here crying that I'm not being heard at home and my wife and my kids walk all over me, then you look like.
Then yeah,
To the eye of the woman, but the woman can do that though.
But that's perspective to everyone though, because if I talk to, like you said, if I'm having a conversation, even if I'm having a conversation with a girl, that I'm in a relationship, if I'm talking to my girl, and it's like, hey, this is what's going on, and it's something I'm passionate about. I'll cry because I'm that passionate about what it is that I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Now, but a lot of times, people don't. Those conversations ain't had.
It depends on your woman. I think it depends. I mean, the reason why we feel like we got the world on our shoulders is because just women, just the ideology of women to be really expressive to women would be not all. Most women would view you as weak and sensitive. I just told you about a situation that happened with a past relationship I had, right?
So would you say that we do this because, for the most part, for the sake of women?
I think it's a culture transitional thing that we've been, like, we raised up, get married, go to high school, go to college. That I think it's just a form of that remixed in today's society. I'm not saying that that's to sum it up, but I think that's what it is. I mean,
I think it depends on what kind of a woman you're dealing with, and all of us know what kind of woman we're dealing with at the time. So if you know that coming home and telling her about your day's work, she's just gonna say, get over it. You're not even gonna say nothing to her.
Nope.
You know? But
Right.
if she's the motherly, petting type, that's gonna be like, oh, baby, you had a hard day's work. Then you're gonna tell her everything. So it just depends on who you're dealing with.
I agree. I definitely agree.
And I think that at some point in time, all men want that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All men won't.
Yeah.
All men won't. They want you to be. They want to be nurtured. Not because they not mama's boys type of shit like that. But at the end of the day, they just want to feel like,
No matter how raw we are, like we have long, hard
yeah,
days.
like it's been a long day.
We're all 24/7, like,
You know?
You want to run this touch in your life.
Exactly.
Babe, this happened, that happened. And then she just look at you and be like, so what you gonna do? Like, man, go in there and take a shower. We gotta do it again tomorrow.
I know.
Like, why did I even talk to you?
Yeah, like what's the point of me confiding in you about this?
Yeah, sometimes you just want somebody to just hear you and
Hear it
understand
out.
you and
Yeah.
have sympathy like that. That day, man, you had a rough day. I wish I could have been there to help.
One thing
I'll make you something to eat. What's up?
not to cut you off, but one thing I do want to address too, and I love this question, said we have the world on our shoulders. I do think that a black man in today's world, we have it harder than any other male race in the world.
Yeah, well, it's hard being a man.
Right.
It's hard. It's super hard to be a black man.
It's stuff that we go through that it's so normalized that we don't even talk about.
Like what?
It could be stereotype, systemic racism. It could be somebody. It's so many different type of examples where on the day to day you can walk into the gas station and somebody can kind of treat you well. There's sayings and things. I'm not saying people are racist or anything, but I'm saying as a black person we are stereotyped. And it's a lot of stuff that we go through on a regular basis that don't even be taught. It's normalized.
100%.
So others don't get stereotyped?
They do.
You say who?
But
Others don't?
they
No,
do.
everything. I said
Mexicans?
no.
They do.
But going from 100 years to now, we are the most beat up race, verbally and physically, that's in history.
I think
The only reason I'm questioning it is because where we're currently at, Arizona, who gets stereotyped more?
Hispanics.
No,
Okay.
I
100%.
disagree.
They got it worse than us right now. It's reverse racism.
I disagree. I think that we still have it worse than Hispanics out here. I think that I think it's more, right? It's more, so we less. So I do think that we picked up on the most in Arizona. We less.
I done like years out here without getting pulled over. Years. I need some wood to knock on. But we are not stereotyped out here as much as the Spanish are. Not at all.
That's true. That's true.
Not in that way pulled over, but what about jobs? We're still being held. So what's going on?
I would agree with him. Living out here, living in Arizona my whole life, oh yeah. We getting stereotyped by them, and then we get stereotyped by the Mexicans.
And that's what I'm saying.
That's true. But who's getting it worse?
I still think
On a sense of getting pulled over and all that other stuff, to me, that's America across the board. I don't care where you're at. That's just me. But if you're talking about in specific of the job is workforce, jobs and everything else, I'll still say us.
They don't call us niggas
I'll still
no more.
say that.
They don't call us Negroes and colored. What they do is they block our blessings and hold us back and keep us. We don't get these jobs. Even coaching.
We'll get a job before a black
Football
person.
get passed on. Basketball get not basketball. Football. All these athlete sports, even coming down to everyday corporation, they pass us over. They don't call us niggas no more, Negroes or colored. But what we are always, if we are a hardworking person, we always their best workers, whatever the situation is. I know we can go on our own businesses. That's one thing, but we talking about just regular black folks. they still passed us over on a lot of little stuff. It's little
And all exists.
it's not that, and it's
all
not.
of it exists still. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're saying that they holding us back and all that oppression stuff.
No, I'm not
No,
saying
no, no,
that.
no,
I'm not saying
no.
that.
I'm not
And
saying.
they're not giving us jobs and all that. That's
Look,
bull.
I'm not saying they
That's
hold
bull.
us back to the sense of like race wise. I'm saying if it's an opportunity, if it comes down to, if we do an interview, and if it's a white man and versus a black man or any other situation, I'm not saying that it's all race or whatever. But what I'm saying is, if it's just they're gonna choose a other person, we'll be the last choice, even though we be best for the job.
I say
And
this.
I'm not saying we've been
Go
holding. We're
ahead.
making a lot of moving forward.
That's always gonna happen if it's that job. So let me give you an example.
Go ahead.
If it's my job, if it's my shop, and it's a brother and a white dude there, who am I gonna hire?
I'm hiring best person for the job. It don't
True
matter.
story. True story. But all situations equal. They both do the job. They both can cut hair.
Based on personality.
Okay, that's equal too. Who you gonna pick? I'm just.
Okay.
My whole point is, if you're going to this white man asking for a job, and he's looking at you and somebody that looks like him, of course he's gonna pick his own. Any nationality is gonna do that. Everybody picks their own. I had the
I can
hardest
see
time
that.
in the world. My shop
see it.
boy was a brother,
Uh-huh.
like 12-year-old brother. These little Spanish kids moved in from South Central, and they work circles around my shop boy. My shop boy is lazy. He's chilling. It was the horriblest thing in the world. All my barbers was like, get rid of him. Like, the Mexicans is killing him. But it's the worst feeling in the world because you don't want to fire the brother, you know? But, so we're not equal. We're not going off equal, because if I was equal, the Mexican boys would have had that job instantly.
Okay.
Which they did eventually get after I had to get over it. I had to get over it in my head. But first and foremost, you're gonna ride with
Yeah,
your
you
own.
all right with your own.
Yeah.
So if you're going to that white man looking for a job, he's gonna ride with his own first, definitely.
And because it's going to make it more comfortable. If you think about any office space, you go to any establishment. Think of it like this. All right, if you go out and you see a group of white cats that's partying, turning up, right, doing what they do, that's normal, right? Normal. That's accepted 100%. You go out the same establishment, you see brothers doing, turning up, doing the dance, whatever they, whatever. You gonna have the whole bar looking at them like, what the hell is going on, right? Because that ain't the norm. It ain't the norm for that type of establishment. You go to loyalty all day long, right? All day long is the same type of scenario because that's what they expect. The expectations is gonna be different depending on where you at. To Saron's point,
I think you got a good point too. I think he also has a good point about being pulled over. Just from my experiences and how many times I've been pulled over in my lifetime, 90% of that's home. Here, it hadn't happened the same. And I was younger. So I'm wondering, because I'm older now, you put over less. Like that, to me, doesn't make much sense when I'm doing exactly the same thing. So I wonder about that a little bit. But to the other point, I think he's right too. Because if you're going in for a high-end job, the best candidate should always go first. It should be the case. But you may have a point of talking about you're going to pick your own. If he can relate, I think it's relatability. I think maybe that's what the selling point is for that job. Is I can.
That's what it is. You ain't sell yourself well enough.
There it is.
That's what it is.
But people go into it. We're normalizing it, right? I think that we're normalizing something that ain't.
He's proving the
That,
point
Go
right
ahead.
here.
I just got promotion. Okay, so I'll put it this way. I'm the only black male in the department. Only. Right? I'm the only one on my team. The team I'm coming from right now, I'm the only one. Period. I'm the only black male. There's 2 males in the department. 2. One Hispanic, one black. We stand out in every meeting. I go to the other side, only black male that I know of, period. And I'm sure the only one that applied for that position. I got the position. I've been networking my ass off. I've been working, busting my ass to make sure that, like you said, I'm the number one, I'm the number one, I'm the number one, I'm the number one.
Our performance will outdo color.
100%.
that's not always the case. 'Cause I feel like sometimes.
Not always. It's always an exception.
I feel like that sometimes it be like, boy, you good enough to work you the fields, boy, you the best field worker out there. But when it's time to come in the house you can't come in the house, boy, but we gonna keep you in the fields, boy, but you can't come in the house. But all I'm saying, not to cut you off, but all I'm saying is that people don't even hire on credentials, they hire on likability. I agree, but my thing is that these corporations and stuff, which is what makes the world move, most jobs, right? The average worker, we're talking about average people, right? So what really, the average, I forgot my thought process, but the average workforce or whatever, these corporations, these executives, right? We talking about average, right? We're not talking about small, I'm not saying we oppressed or whatever, I'm talking about real life. Why do these corporations, these executives, right? Majority of the company is black, or the customer base is a large percentage black. From the pyramid structure down, from executive, CEO, vice president, there's no black people. Like you said, you're the best person, right, for the job, right? Cool, great, you know what I mean, congratulations. But we talking about like, you know what I mean, not to say nothing about that, but I'm talking about from a corporation standpoint. Why does the corporate structure don't look like the customer client base? Why doesn't it look like your best workers from Thailand?
I think it depends on what industry you're in. You know, because
most industries, except like you say Apple, Google, they's the exception. We talking about regular people.
I mean, regular people.
We talking about super sports, bro. We talking about that's a super sport.
Here's why I say
that's a super sport.
Here's why I say what I say. Everybody buys house. For the most part, almost everybody buys houses. Most people buy houses, right?
Okay.
Saron just closed on a house. He just bought a house. Congratulations, by the way.
Congratulations, man.
Just closed.
I see you out here. Congratulations, King.
I see.
I do mortgages for a living, right? I'm licensed in 22 states. This ain't no ploy for me to get no, ain't nothing like that. Anywho, I'm licensed in 22 states across the country. The majority of people that I speak to are not black. They are not black. And the black folks that I do speak to, they have a hard time understanding the benefits that I provide to them. And I try to really hook it up when it comes to, like I really do. I'm thinking like, hey, all right, we gonna vibe, we gonna connect, right? We speak the same language. Nope. Those are the black folks are the hardest people for me to actually get to work with than it is anybody else.
But that's
why?
That's a different subject.
But that's life.
Don't trust anybody.
But they go to mental health issues. They go into how we was raised, education-wise.
And that goes into why that's why somebody else will get the job opposed to us.
That's not a difference, because if I'm an executive type of person, right, which means I meet the qualification for it, I know what I'm doing. What you're talking about is something as far as information-wise for a different thing. But we're talking about from a corporate structure. We don't look like who run these companies. We the heart and soul of these companies.
It's the same premise though. On my end, as a mortgage banker, as a loan officer, there's maybe 5 people in my region of 100 and maybe like 120 people in my region. 5 black people, right? Roughly, I'll give you an estimate on that. 5 to 7, right? Out of those 5 to 7, the reason why black folks can't get jobs, because I've recommended plenty terrible credit, right? You can't, the credit is pretty much the big thing. They can't pass the test, right? I was told myself, I got a college degree, I was told myself that they didn't think that I would be able to pass the test because the test is difficult. It's like the series 7.
They take it 2 or 3 times. I heard they say.
Yeah. Right. So at the end of the day, if you can't pass the test of what it takes to get into the door, then the company is not going to invest, because that seat that I sit in is worth $7,000. Just the desk is $7,000, right? It's from a computer, phone, headphone, the equipment, all that jazz, $7,000. And then on top of that, you got the training, right? Which is roughly $100,000. As a business, if I'm a business, the last thing I'm gonna do is invest $100,000 into somebody that I don't think is going to last 1 year.
I agree, and what I agree, and congratulations too. But let me tell you something. You said 5 to 7, right? You paying attention, right? So all I'm saying is, that's the same thing I'm doing. I'm paying attention with these corporations. You said 5 to 7. We're not talking about credentials. We're talking about what's actual factual.
I don't know what their credentials are, but I know that over the course of 10 years, because it ain't hard to see. I can stand up. I can stand up and look across the way, and I can see.
And that's all I'm saying, too.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's all I'm saying.
But I also know that on the back end that the folks that I didn't recommended for the job, that I know are of sound credit, outside of credit, they can't pass the test. Right? They couldn't even pass the test to get to the second interview.
That's not what we talking about. But I see what you're saying. That's what we're talking about. But go ahead.
So you started talking about actual CEOs. That's
we talking about executives.
It ain't even executives, because I did interviews myself.
Right.
Like when I was a manager, I had to conduct interviews, right? And for some of the people, white and black, if they didn't know what they was talking about or they came across sketchy, I'm not hiring you.
That's all racist though. That's not what I'm talking about, because you can get a sketchy white person, Hispanic person, whatever.
Right. So
all I'm saying is you're either your heart and soul of the company who makes the company billions and millions, your customer base is black, but your leadership from an executive standpoint does not reflect your people, this heart and soul, and the people who pay. That's all I'm saying. Your customer base.
So that's what I wanted to touch on.
Go ahead.
So, like you said, when you look at the pyramid structure, you see the top is whoever, and you see what the faces look like until you get to a certain level, and it starts to even out for more minorities.
At some point, in most jobs, right? At some point.
So the point of that is, when you're the vice president, or if you're in the second line, you're not that one. They usually hire from that role. Someone who's already up there is going to get pulled in there every year.
Exactly. So the people that are my like the president, the VPs, they were in the role that I was in 20 years ago, right? And then now there are folks that of our skin tone that are in those VP roles, because one, the company expands, right? As a company, if you're talking about just a small company of maybe 1,000 people, there's not enough roles for me, Cerrone, and Jeff to have the top 3 spots or to have the top 3 lines, right? You got the president, who's the guy who started the company, right? Who's usually the one with the vision. You got his boy, and then his boy underneath that, which are usually a tight knit group, right? From there, it goes to, like Jeff said, it spreads out from there. And what leads there to be change in that top 3 is the production of your bottom line. So, for example, I got a buddy of mine. He was just promoted to vice president of whatever it is right now, brother, right? And he's like, brother. So from there, the next step up would be, vice president of this or then president of that. But it takes that work on the front lines to get to that position. Ain't no general don't become a general just because.
We here. It's more executives in these corporations that run this country and run the world. It's more and more. But what I'm saying is, we're qualified. We got doctorate degrees. We got bachelor degrees. We got master's degrees. We run companies. We do things. I'm not talking about the people that's the bottom on the pyramid. You just came to work and you applying for an executive position. We talking about qualified black people, and why the real matter is why we not in these roles. That's what it comes down to.
Some companies like mine, they don't hire from without. They hire from what they promote from within.
But it's still even within. They still do right, and it's still either where they hire within or they outsource. It's still the matter is the issue is this is the systemic racism that we talk that we talking about right now. So what you saying exists, and I agree with you 100%, and I agree with your point, but we saying 2 different things. And I agree with you on the point that we talking about that, but we're qualified.
I think at the end of the day,
we don't need them. And I'm saying we don't need no corporation. We go out and do our own thing, but we want to talk about what's going on right now for a lot of us brothers out here and sisters out here too.
At the end of the day, everything in life is a sale. Whether you believe it or not, everything in life is a sale. You meet your girl, you sold her on why she's messed with you and not somebody else.
I like
right?
that. That's hard.
Everything in life is a sale, right? Everything in life.
Yeah.
Somebody sold you this suit. Somebody sold you that hat, you either buying or you selling. Okay? You either buying or you selling. And at the end of the day, if you go into one of these interviews and your sales skill on how to sell yourself ain't up to par, you ain't gonna get that job. Whether you black, white, Hispanic, from fucking Mars, no matter where you from.
I don't think we, as far as my
It's a fact.
We're not even being considered because of the color of our skin.
It's a fact.
We not, the qualifications we there. We know these jobs. Most of the time at these companies, the heart and soul that I've seen situations with people, and it's so fucked up is they come in and know the whole department, right? They so happen to be black. It could be a black woman. They'll go in and bring a white person in. I'm not speaking for every single corporation out there. I'm just speaking on my experiences as a black person and the people that I know that talk to me about their experience. So I can't speak for the world. But what my experience is, they told this woman that the person they wanted to come in wasn't even in the damn industry. Didn't know nothing about the industry, but was an executive. Executive is what it is.
And a lot of times,
but she was an executive to herself.
Not to cut you off, but a lot of times, and I've been in that role myself, where an exec comes in from outside, they fuck the culture up.
But she taught him how to do the job, and they gave her right, and he calling her for ounces and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they calling her for ounces. She know how to do it. She doing his job.
So
because he's white, she's black. It might not be a white or black thing. It might be her personality. She might have a bad attitude. It could be other stuff. But it's too many situations like that where this keep happening. This is from my perspective.
So how do you shift it, right? How do we make the change? See,
high school coaches, college coaches.
Because there's lots of things you can do that change how people look at you, regardless of skin tone. So what I'm saying is racism is real. We know that happens. There's a percentage of that you can't get over. But in a lot of instances, when you step in that interview, it's going to be a lot like when I step outside in Phoenix, Arizona. If I go to the Biltmore and I'm in my jogging suit and my hoodie and all that, I still can catch a lady holding her purse tight. But if I go out there and I'm coming from my Bible study and I'm in my suit, they say, oh, and they're holding the door saying, here you go, sir. So it's how you present yourself, how you talk, what you do, that's going to make you either sir or make them hold their purse.
All that don't even matter.
It do.
None of that.
It do. That's the sell.
Hold on. It matters. That matters. But the core is you can come in there and be the best, suit up, bam, 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 all that, and it's still the color of
it
your
might
skin.
be. I just admitted that.
Yeah.
There's a percentage of stuff you can't get over.
Yeah.
There's 1% over here. There's nothing you can do.
Here-
But then the other 90% is on you to sell.
Mark Zuckerberg walked into meetings. Mark Zuckerberg, the head of Facebook, walked into meetings wearing a hoodie and jeans. That's how.
He's a white Jewish man, right?
But wait. I don't know what his race. I don't know what his.
Allegedly, I don't know.
I don't know what his religion is. But he appears to be white. All right. Went in hoodie and jeans, and they looked at him like, wait, what the fuck is going on with this kid? Like, seriously, you coming into this meeting wearing a hoodie? It don't matter what your color is, but at the end of the day, he sold them based off his knowledge and what he had to offer through the conversation. If you go in there,
so good, they didn't even care about his
it don't matter.
Give me five Mike Zuckerbergs. Give me 5 black Mike, woman, black male that have
Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey, Jay-Z. I mean, you want 5? You got 5. You got 5.
Those are not the same thing. Tyler Perry created his own lane. Oprah
So did Mark Zuckerberg.
Mark Zuckerberg really stole somebody's stuff.
What Tyler Perry did, he built that shit from the ground up. He went to city from city, tape from tape, and did that on his own. He didn't get no big old finance loan to get started up. He built this stuff.
Right. He sold himself.
Later on down the line, he made his own.
He gambled on himself.
Oprah Winfrey is one. She probably did different things. Jay-Z kind of built this shit from the ground. He made good business smart decisions. But we're talking about. I would agree with you, Oprah, from my perspective. But the other two, they built their stuff and they went and got their own. Like I'm saying, I ain't saying we need no corporation or things like that, because we can go that's what we do. We make something out of nothing. They tell us no, we build our own line and we build it up from there. That's something that's fine. We can all know that. But what I'm saying is, Tyler Perry did shit from ground up. It's not the same thing with Mike Zuckerberg did. They might get him $10 million. Donald Trump, his dad left him millions of dollars to get the TV worth for millions of dollars.
Mark Zuckerberg was he went to Harvard.
He went to MIT.
MIT, but
MIT dropout.
he created his own. He created his own lane. He created
He was
Facebook.
an MIT dropout. He went to. We can't even afford. Like if I was the smartest person, we'd probably get scholarships. But growing up, I can't even afford to even step foot in.
I'm gonna tell you the end result of all this because we can only control what we can control, right?
Right.
So there is racism, there is this, whatever. But the mind state that I'm hearing from you, you're defeating yourself. If you pass that mind state on to your kids, they're defeating themselves because they're going into it thinking, I don't stand a chance. It's racism here. So that kind of mind state, it can't exist. It's shooting us down already.
That's not. What we speaking about is factual. This is factual stuff going. This is the Black Lives Movement, the Black Lives Matter stuff they was fighting for. We're talking. You're talking about a person like me. I'm raised in the hood. Bam, my mom, get into that, but I don't, she's older than my dad, older and stuff like that. Wasn't traded, wasn't correct, wasn't taught any financial literacy, how to do credit, stocks, crypto, none of all that stuff, right? I'm into all that particular stuff, right? Made somebody up, keep pushing forward. That's a whole other thing talking about me personally, but we want to talk about the culture, what's going on fast.
So, but that's where Sharon comes from. It's all based off of your mindset. I'm from Flint, Michigan. All right. There is no. We didn't even have. I took Spanish 1 for 4 years in high school because there was no Spanish 2 class. All right. So and then I had to take the class again in college because they didn't accept the credit, the A that I got in high school. But what I'm saying is that I didn't learn how to do taxes. I didn't learn about credit. But you learned it.
Yeah, but what we saying is we're gonna keep pushing forward, right? We gonna make this happen, right? Hey, them folks tell us no every day. You know what we're gonna do? You know what I do? My specialty is making something out of nothing, right? That's one other thing. But what we want to talk about is we cannot. It's an issue, and we know it's an issue, but it's normalized. Just like if I walk in the house and you smack me every day, right? Since I was 18 years every day. You come over my house and you see me get smacked in the face, right? Yeah. And I'm like, oh, it ain't not just a smack in the face. Oh, man, he just smacked the shit. No, that's
so Trill, how do you change it? How do we change it?
Okay. I like that. We keep moving forward. We keep doing.
What does that look like?
Okay, so we keep getting our education. We keep growing ourselves. We build our own. If they tell us no, we figure out a way to keep pushing forward. We're going in the right way as a culture, as a black people. We're going the right way. We're not where we're supposed to be, but we on our way where we're supposed to be. I just want to acknowledge what's going on right now as we go to where we're going to be.
I'm gonna say this. What you just said has been said for the last 30 years. Word for word. Get your education, right? Build your own. It's been said, right? But at the end of the day, it is because at the end of the day, you have to want it for yourself. You gotta want it for yourself. I don't know nothing about crypto, but you know what? I'm damn sure there's somebody on YouTube that do, right? You gotta want it for yourself. AB was what? One of the top wide receivers in the state?
Yeah, number one wide receiver in the state.
Number one wide receiver in the state, right? How did you get to become the number one wide receiver in the state? You wanted it, right? My nephew wants to play wide receiver, right? And I tell him, I say, man, there's a ton of videos out there. You can do it, right? Holla at me if you want to work out. If you don't want it, you ain't gonna get it.
Talk about all you want. There's no plan and action put into it, bro.
Ain't no.
We got the right mindset. Right?
We have the right mindset.
And I love it. Your mindset is all that, and that's my mindset, right? But we still have to acknowledge what's happening right now. That's our mindset, but we still have to acknowledge.
What we have to do is we have to school the youngsters. That's how you change it, right? We have to give back to them so that they can see, oh man, Jill was homeless 10 years ago.
And you can't do that if you're telling them that they don't stand a chance, that the people are prejudiced behind the death.
That's not what I'm,
I get what you're saying.
I'm not saying, what I'm saying is that we as a race,
we got to do better.
We got to do better because you got to think about it. We've been on this earth said we probably one of the first races on
No,
Earth.
we are the first.
Arguably, right? Well, we feel like we know we are, but arguably, for the viewers, we say we one of the first races, right? One of the races on Earth. Why am I walk past white person? Oh, look at your hair. We've been on here long as you. Like, get real.
That's just gonna be life.
But what I'm saying is, and that's normal. See, you see how you come in? It's normalizing what it's
not that it's normalized. It's just that
it's not normalizing anything.
it's not normalized. It's just I can't control.
But it's supposed to be normal. You normalize it.
I can't control what somebody else.
Where is she from? Like,
I'm not
people haven't seen your type of hair.
I'm talking, but it's 2022. We've been on the first. They had rosters back in the day, hundreds, two.
But
I'm saying it's an app like a. We might get a random white person or random Hispanic.
No, I get what you're saying.
Just a random person, with right?
Yeah.
And my thing is, they're like, man, we've been the first races. We've been working. This supposed to be normal. You still asking me what's going on, getting real.
You can't get mad at them for that.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I work with a lot of middle upper class white people, and they ask me black questions where I'm sitting here, I'm saying the same thing. Like, y'all don't know this. In all honesty, they don't. It's just only because I tell you this. To them, they ain't worried about what we doing. Just because we're coming more of being on media and everything else doesn't mean they have to watch us and we have to learn how they do our hair. We got to learn how. They still think do-rags is a gang-related thing, bro. And I have to educate them how do-rag is about holding our hair. And they think it's something gang-related. And it's 2022. But they don't know.
It's experience.
I can't get mad at them because they don't know.
Yeah.
I go with a Mexican chick, a Mexican chick. I'm in an interracial relationship. You know how many things she don't know? I can't get mad at that.
Well, that's not being mad. The thing is, going back, what I'm saying is, we are normalizing being treated in a certain way, and it should be normal. We should take a mental note, which we do, and say, oh, well, that's just every day. And it is every day.
Well, the problem is that you're always going to encounter somebody that don't know. Always. Yep. And so it ain't that you normalizing it. It's just the fact that, all right, I don't know where you come from, so I have to explain to you why this is what it is. And then from there, now if that same person, if you have to explain the same thing over and over and over again to the same person, all right, I hear where you're coming from 110%. Most of the time that ain't the case. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
I just wanted to tell y'all something.
I did.
Oh, yeah, my bad. My bad.
I totally cut me off. Y'all saw that. But the thing is, we got to end the subject. We're never going to totally agree on all this, but this is great content. So, I like it. Now, what I really got to say is this. Like you said, racism exists as long as people have been different. But I think everyone's kind of right. Everyone has a point. Everyone has made a point.
Right.
I'm always going to be looked at a certain way. I'm always going to have to explain it. I'm always going to have to go in there to be suited with it because I'm going to be treated differently this way than I am with my hoodie on. That's terrible, but that's reality. It's not, shouldn't be normalized. It really shouldn't. But I can't change what I'm wearing to party. But I can change what I'm wearing to party. I can change. I can do more interview prep. I can meet different people who are going to put me in different circles. I can date someone outside of the race so I can make sure I'm learning about it with coaches. So now, okay, Marine, okay, yeah, I know this. When you step outside the box, and this goes back to what he's saying, we can teach everybody else, but we also gotta each one teach one. I gotta pull the next one.
You gotta pull the next one up.
Got to.
This is why this is this. Because what I've learned recently is from just going out and being in the world, eating wings with somebody, with my homeboys, and then a guy came over, a coach, white coach, at one of the local high schools out here, just struck up a conversation with us. His wife's a teacher, and guess what they don't teach anymore in schools? Y'all know? Slavery.
I heard that.
They don't teach. They don't teach.
That's
kids
Arizona.
that
That's
book.
a world.
I'm not gonna say which school district,
But out here,
but it's here.
A lot of schools out here.
A lot of schools don't
A lot
teach
of schools
that.
that do.
All of the schools.
I don't remember learning that in Michigan,
I'm
but
just saying. I remember talking about the slave trade. They don't even touch the slave trade. They talk about real events, but they don't go into it. So if they're not being taught by them, who are they being taught by? And what do you teach them?
Exactly.
But that might be a good thing
Let
too.
me say this little phrase. I thought about this little phrase. We can't afford to be just good at a job. Black person has to be the best person at the job. I'm the best at what I do. You know why?
But why wouldn't you want
I'm
more?
the best at what I do. I'm number one.
But why wouldn't you strive for that?
But what I'm saying is, if I'm a different race, right, and I'm the best person, I'm a whatever the thought process is. We just don't have the luxury of just being good. We have to be the best. And that's all I'm saying. We should strive to be the best, but I have a chip on my shoulder, so I know I need to be the best at what I do. I can't afford to be good because I don't have the same advantages or the same opportunities as a different race. I have to be the best person, not the good person. I'm the best at what I do. You know why? Because I don't have. I seen like this show one time, and it's not to sum it up. It was about this Navy SEAL, and it's a show, so it's not a documentary.
It's not a movie?
No, it's not a movie, not a documentary, nothing. And it was an episode where this white, I forgot, commander, I don't know, I'm not familiar with the military, he was over his unit, and this other guy was equal to him. And he used to get on this guy all the time. Well, why you can't do this? And why you can't do this? And why you do this? And the person on his team that said, you can afford to mess up, but he can't. He has to be the best. He has to do it a certain way, and you have the luxury. We're the military, and I'm not saying military racist. I'm not saying it. I'm saying a particular, a show. I'm not saying to bring a show in. I'm not saying military racist. I'm just thinking of a show that I watched and said that we cannot afford to be good. We have to
See,
be
but
the
that's
best.
how I was raised, though.
But-
That's how some people was
But
raised.
it's how a black man is supposed to be raised. A white person ain't raised like that.
I can't necessarily speak on how a white or Mexican raised, but that was my norm. I'm coming from a single parent. My mama was 20 when she had me. So,
Yeah, but let me put
all right.
that. I definitely, I'm not. I love white people. I date white girls. I date Hispanics. I'm talking about like the stuff that we go to. We talking about the stuff that we go to. So you know what I mean? Like I hang out. I got friends from all different races. I'm just speaking on this.
I know you ain't saying it in the aspect of that, but yeah.
But they don't know that now about you.
But is that? But a lot. What I'm saying is all our points resonate with different people, right? You're gonna feel your point. They're gonna feel your point, my point. So it's a good thing. So
final signing off. Final sign off, Jeff.
We forgot now.
Nah, man, it's all good. Hey, at the end of the day, the whole aspect is that we, like Jeff was saying, you gotta reach back. You know what I'm saying? We gotta reach back, and if we ain't reaching back,
you gotta
then
do better, man.
then we setting the future up for the exact same thing that we went through ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And on that note,
It's the Kings.